So God's throwing flashbangs outside of the crack den right now. So if you hear anything that sounds like thunder, yeah, that's what that is. Anyways, Jennifer Lopez, it is truly unbelievable how poorly things are going for this woman right now. And I just want to take y'all on a journey with me so that we can run through all the blunders and the headaches that she's been dealing with, at least a few of them. Alright, so JLo hasn't really made any music in a long time. She hasn't released an album in like a decade. But then this year she actually released her 9th album. And it was all because she met Batman again. So not only is Bennifer back together, but J-Lo said that her finding Ben Affleck again and them rekindling their relationship actually inspired her to get back into the studio and make music again. But let me tell you, not only were we going to get a new album, we were going to get a musical movie loaded to the brim with A-list celebrities, and we were going to get a documentary about making said movie. By the way, apparently Bennifer has an entire Wikipedia page dedicated to this whole thing. Now, if you could believe it, this movie was actually quite a tough thing to get greenlit. She approached a bunch of studios to help her make this thing, but they were all like, man, musicals are not selling right now. We can't do this. We are going to lose so much money. So I'd imagine this would be pretty frustrating. But then, well, we have a good idea. I'm Jennifer Lopez. I could just fund this thing myself. And that she did. I honestly kind of respect it. This thing cost $20 million. And it seems like people have been liking the movie. Apparently it got to like the #1 spot on Amazon Prime. Problem is, the same cannot be said at all for the album or the documentary. In fact, the album, I believe, is the lowest charting one of her career. It debuted at number 38 on the Billboard Top 40. It barely squeaked it in there. I mean, hey, number 38 is still an impressive number. It's just, whew. That's gotta sting if you're Jenny. Dude, this New York Post article really isn't showing much mercy. They left a quote from her from the documentary. I didn't even have to make the record. It's not like anybody was clamoring for the next J-Lo record, you know what I mean? And then the writer just puts, well, damn, she was sure right about that. I will say, I do give J-Lo and her team props for not doing the Justin Bieber thing when Yummy came out. Do y'all remember when that happened? I believe Justin's Insta reblogged something from a Justin Bieber fan account that was like, hey y'all, let's get Yummy to #1. Make a playlist entirely of Yummy and put it on when you sleep. Actually, I think that was also supposed to be like a comeback for the Biebs. And didn't Selena Gomez try to do something like that too? Now, of course, many of us who really like business and stuff, whenever we see an absolute gargantuan flop like this, we always like to ask the question. And while we don't have concrete answers, we do have a reigning theory, and one of the biggest parts of that theory is the fact that nobody knew this was a thing. Or at least a significant amount of people didn't know. And in fact, even when she was going on SNL to perform a song from the album, nobody was even really talking about the thing that was coming right around the corner because of something the host said that shaded J-Lo. Like some people found on some random podcast, the host said, yeah, J-Lo's career is one of the longest scams ever. She still thinks she's good even though she doesn't sing for most of the songs that she has. Oh my goodness, that is a gnarly one. Bro, after hearing that, you know Jenny from the block is looking up how to call in a drone strike. Alright, the album's not doing very well, and I'll tell you, documentary ain't faring much better. It's clips from the documentary as well as random clips from other interviews that people have found. They have J-Lo getting clowned left, right, center, arriba, pa abajo, pa centro, pa dentro. It's brutal out here. Now, I did not watch this documentary. Can you really blame me? So I'm only really going to mention a few of the more famous clips. There was this one clip where she was begging this guy from Dancing with the Stars to work with her on the movie, and she was begging hard. She really, really wanted him in this movie, and she kept pushing, but the guy just kept stonewalling her, saying, J-Lo, I have a wedding I have to attend. And then there's a scene in the movie where J-Lo has to dance around in mud, and then filming the scene, the workers helping her out were like, man, after this scene, the price of mud is gonna go up because you were dancing in it. And then we get to my favorite clip that you all know this one probably already. It's the one where she gets it done working out. She takes her hair out and her hair's all wild and she goes,
I like taking my hair out like this. It reminds me like when I was 16 in the Bronx, running up and down the block. A crazy little girl who used to be wild and no limits, all dreams and
like, I don't know what it is. It's just very jarring to see that. It's very off-putting. Alright, so people are already making fun of her for what they saw in the doc, but then we find this Vogue 21 Questions video that exists, and then she has this statement where the interviewer asks, what was your go-to bodega order? And then J-Lo comes in with, and I quote, a ham and cheese roll, a bag of chips, and an orange drink. If you know, you know.
And what was your go-to order at the bodega?
My go-to order at the bodega was ham and cheese on a roll with an orange drink, if you know, you know, and a small bag of chips.
What do you mean by if you know, you know? What, are you buying crack from these places? I cannot emphasize enough how nobody knew what she was talking about. Everybody was making fun of her for this, and nobody, I mean, not a single breathing organism on this planet knew what she was talking about. And it wasn't until recently that the reigning theory right now is that it might have been like one of these orange hugs. I don't know. I guess she just didn't remember the name of these things. So she just said, if you know, you know, hoping somebody could fill in the gaps. Alright, so this all happens, and then people start talking about bad experiences they had with JLo. These are like a dime a dozen when it comes to celebrities. I didn't really do much research, except there's like this one where she allegedly spit gum in an assistant's hair. That's pretty bad. But alright, what do most artists do when they drop a new album? They tour it. So we get the oh my gosh, I'm stuttering. Help me, please. The JLo, This Is Me. Now, I don't even remember the name of this freaking album. It's like 1:30 a.m. The This Is Me live tour. And so now you're thinking, listen, at least JLo is like a good performer. You go to a JLo show, you're at least going to have some level of fun. Problem is, you kind of can't really go to these shows because these ticket prices are insane. I mean, we're talking $1,000, sometimes one solid stack of cash for seats. Now, I'm no expert when it comes to ticket prices for live shows, but the big comparison I hear is that when your tickets are more expensive than Beyonce's and you're touring an album that was barely in the top 40, I don't know, that's a little much. And one of my favorite parts of this is that Jen went on Good Morning America to talk about the tour, and even she's like, I kind of wish I had the summer off, to be honest. Like, bro, at least act excited. I mean, she kind of saved it because she said it'll be nice to meet all the fans, but still, dude, how did that leave her mouth? Now, if you can believe it, things go from bad to worse because, so this thing, I think was supposed to have like 30 or so shows. 9 dates got canceled. Now, 5 did get added after they got canceled, so in total, we're down 4 dates. Very likely due to the low ticket sales, honestly. This is her first North American tour in like 5 years, y'all. I just want to throw that information in there. This is not a comeback, y'all. This is like trying to wake up from a freaking coma. This is a struggle back. Also, apparently Variety scored an interview with Jennifer's former publicist, who said one of the reasons this is all going so poorly is that nobody cares about Bennifer anymore. Spoiler alert, it seems like Bennifer might not even care about Bennifer anymore. Oh yeah, more reasons to laugh. On her Instagram, she posted a photo, I think the caption or something was like girls night, and then she posted a picture of a restaurant she was in, and then you look in the comments, there's a comment that goes something along the lines of, well, I work at the restaurant where I had dinner today. She was very regal. I had the honor of presenting her salad. Now already this comment is a little weird. I think it's because of the punctuation. I don't know what it is. It just seems very inhuman. But what really cements the idea of this not being a fully legit comment was the fact this thing got repeated over and over again in the comment section, word for word. Seriously, it's like this comment section got filled with salad transportation minions. Like, you're not transporting the Ark of the Covenant. You could get one person to give her the salad. So people see this and then they instantly catch on. It has to be bots. Freaking Team Umizumi is in here trying to shill for JLo. So people start parodying the comment. It's really funny, actually. I unfortunately do not have any screenshots to show you. I'll just give you an example. The comments would be like, well, I work at your mom's house, where I had dinner today. She was not very regal. She threw me down 2 flights of stairs. I had the honor of presenting her orange drink. By the way, the reason I don't have screenshots is because the comments are turned off. Get wrecked. Alright, so after this detour, we're gonna go back to the tour. Haha. And presumably because of low ticket sales, it actually got rebranded from the This Is Me live tour to the Jennifer Lopez Greatest Hits tour. Which is probably a smart decision, you know. You get the people who want the classics, and you might get people who want the new album too. Also, I completely forgot to mention this earlier. Apparently, of all people, Sadhguru is in the movie. I didn't know this man was still alive, to be honest. But remember how I said you might get people who want the new album? It feels like even Jennifer might not even want to perform songs from the new album because these songs that are supposed to be a celebration of her love for Ben Affleck, yeah, they might be getting divorced. So JLo was spotted like house hunting on her own without Ben, and it made people wonder why would she be looking for a house all by herself if she's gonna live there with her husband? And then later, some inside anonymous source from who knows where, Timbuktu for all we know, gave an interview that said, yep, for once, it wasn't Ben's fault this time that they're getting divorced. Oh, even the insider isn't even giving Jennifer any slack. And they also said that Ben has been staying away from their house. And then you have the paparazzi pics where Ben always looks like peeved at JLo. Listen, maybe Ben just has RBF, okay? It's a condition some of us suffer with. I have something similar. Instead of looking upset, every picture I take, I look stoned out of my mind. I look straight zooted. You know, this is all looking pretty bad. But Jennifer actually has something good coming up because she was actually in talks to do a Vegas residency, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically instead of touring and performing in a bunch of different locations, she stays in the same location and performs. So that's at least something. That's a bright spot in this absolute storm. Oh, wait, never mind. It seems that the people that were in talks with her are pulling out because of how poorly the tour sold. All right. So the residency is out the window, but you know what? Maybe we might be able to salvage this if we get enough people in the door when we go on tour. We might get a good amount of money. We might get the residency back. People might be interested in working with us again, and it's actually supposed to begin on the 26th of this month, and it is canceled.
Stop! He's already dead!
Alright, I am a turbo hater on this channel, but even I'm starting to feel bad, especially with like the divorce. Divorce is never a fun time. At most, it's bittersweet. At absolute best, it's bittersweet. Alright, I am completely unqualified to give advice on basically anything, but my opinion on what JLo should do, you know how whenever you're trying to solve a problem or beat a hard level in a game, or you're trying to do something that requires some amount of skill/effort, and you just can't get it right, and then you go to sleep, come back the next day, and you just one-shot this thing? That's what JLo needs to do. She needs to just throw in the towel this time, go home, take a nap, eat a good breakfast, lick the wounds, and then she can come back. Alright, that's all I've got for this vid.